Tuesday, November 18th at 6:30 p.m. So I call the meeting to order. Could we have a roll call count, please?
Commissioner Volbada,
Yes.
Commissioner Weiss,
Here.
Commissioner Langston,
Present.
Commissioner Carlson,
Here.
Commissioner Grau,
Here.
Commissioner Brennan,
Here.
Chair Smith.
Present. Let's do the flag salute, please.
Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Consent agenda. All items listed below are considered to be routine and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a commission member or person in the audience requests specific items be removed from the consent agenda for discussion prior to the time the commission votes on the motion to adopt the consent agenda. Our items today, item number 1, approval of October 21, 2025 meeting minutes. Item number 2, monthly planning report. Item number 3, public hearing regarding file DR-25-06, FP-25-01, HCA-2501, the addition of the pool storage building on the children's course. Item number 4, public hearing for file DR-25-07, renovation of existing childcare center, including updates to the building, parking, landscaping, and outdoor play areas. So, first item, approval of the October 21st meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda, including the meeting minutes.
I'll second. Okay, the motion was made by Commissioner Weiss and seconded by Commissioner Volbada. Could we have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Brennan,
Yes.
Commissioner Grau,
Yes.
Commissioner Carlson,
Approved.
Commissioner Langston,
Yes.
Commissioner Weiss,
Yes.
Commissioner Volbada,
Yes.
Chair Smith.
Yes, meeting minutes approved. Next item, number 2, the monthly planning report. Staff?
Thank you, Chair Smith. I'm just noticing that we have our September planning report in the packet instead of October. So we will bring you October and November in December and report back on those items for you. Sorry that we missed that. I've reviewed it too. I didn't see it. So yes, there just, for I can open it and just tell you if there was anything notable. I need to take a quick look. Sorry about that. Let's see.
Mine says October 21st on the meeting minutes up at the top.
Oh.
But the monthly planning report is.
That.
Just
Okay.
the monthly planning report. Yes,
Gotcha.
that's in the packet. So let me just open the October one really quickly. Just because I think there was one administrative decision. So I want to make sure you know about that. Okay. So yes, at Meldrum Bar Park, the RC track was having some erosion issues that was running toward the river and across the parking area. So the city did apply to do sediment control fencing along there, which is a floodplain permit like we are reviewing this evening. However, because it was expressly for habitat enhancement, it did fall into the one of the 4 exemptions from having to do the full floodplain permit review. So we were able to approve that so that the city could install some sediment barrier fencing along the edge of the RC track there. So that was one that we did look at. Let's see, City Council did approve the limited land use design review public notice language that we as a group moved forward to them from our September meeting. So that was in October as well. Otherwise, yeah, on the screen. Oh, sure. That'd be great. We're going to just bring it up on the screen and then we can just look at the building permits too, because I know that's something that has been of interest lately.
Our monitors.
Oh, hang on.
There you go.
Okay,
We still
Great.
got, this one is not working. No, this one,
Yeah.
is there a button?
Blue lights on.
Yeah, the blue light's on, but we're not getting anything.
You may have to share.
Okay,
Yeah, no worries.
that's fine.
And then Tammy, if you'll please scroll to the next page with the building permits, we can just go over those really quickly. So we had on West Berkeley Street, a new garage that met all of the review standards for setbacks. Also on West Berkeley, a new ADU, 800 square foot accessory dwelling unit that's removing the existing garage there. On West Clackamas Boulevard, this was actually a land use decision quite a while ago. I believe it was a 2022 application for a floodplain permit for development of a single family home along Clackamas Boulevard. So they've been working to meet their conditions for erosion control and things along there. We spoke at the last meeting about 1230 Windsor Drive, and then City Administrator Betts followed up with an email about the adult foster home that's proposed for that location. Reviewed 450 West Berkeley again. On 6601 Oak Ridge Drive, a new deck is being put onto the existing home. 870 82nd Drive was the storage building that you all reviewed for design review a couple months back. That came in for the building permit, and then a second review of that single unit home on 285 West Clackamas. That was all of the building permits in October. I think we've done it. We've got through the planning report. Any questions about the October planning report?
Okay, commissioners, any questions? Nope, I think we're good.
Just one thing.
Yeah.
Sorry. Regarding council's decision about design review, what was their opinion on that?
They were curious what discussions had happened at this group, but they were generally supportive of all of the code language changes we'd made. They were very aware that we'd been through several work sessions on it, so that the language had been really vetted by this group. So they were supportive. There was one possibility that Councillor Garlington wanted to potentially define high efficiency irrigation. And so we came up with a definition, and she said, actually, I don't really like that. I want to leave it the way it is. And so everything was adopted as recommended by Planning Commission.
Thank you.
Okay, item number 3, public hearing for file DR-25-06, FP-25-01, HCA-25-01, addition of 1152 square feet pole storage building to the golf course site, the children's course on River Road. Staff.
Yes, if you wouldn't mind just reading our quasi judicial notification.
That would help. Yeah, sorry about that. Okay, the public hearing is now open for the purposes of considering the 3 items I read off. And the hearing is open at 6:40 p.m. The procedure we would like to follow tonight is Planning Department report, applicant testimony, proponent testimony, opponent testimony, applicant rebuttal, decision to continue or close the hearing, Planning Commission discussion and decision. Now, does any commission member wish to disqualify himself or herself for any personal or financial interest in this matter before us tonight? Or does any commission member wish to report any significant ex parte or pre-hearing contacts? Please indicate if you visited the site in connection with this application, starting with Commissioner Volbada.
No ex parte contact, no financial interest in this application. I am very familiar with this site, with this course, and I plan to participate.
Commissioner Weiss.
Nothing to disclose. I have been to the site before. I did not visit just for this application, but I know what they're talking about.
Commissioner Langston.
Yep. No ex parte contact. I will be participating.
Commissioner Brennan.
No ex parte contact. I am familiar with the site via Google Maps and my travels. kind of around town. And I do look forward to participating tonight and plan to.
Okay. Yes, please.
No ex parte contact, and I am familiar with the site. Not recently, but I've driven by it and I did check it out on Google Maps as well.
No ex parte contact. I will be participating and I have visited the site.
Okay. I have no ex parte. I plan on participating this evening. However, I do know that I've been to the site and I do know the family that owns the children's course. I worked for him back in the 80s, long time ago. So, and I've been to a couple of events on the site. So just total disclosure. Does any member of the audience wish to challenge the right of any commission member to hear this matter? So that's no. Is there any member of the audience who wishes to question the jurisdiction of this body to act on behalf of the city council on this matter? Oregon land use laws require that all issues be raised if the issues are to be appealed. Failure to raise the issues at this hearing may invalidate their further appeal to the Land Use Board of Appeals, LUBA. Any party has the right to request a continuance to this hearing, or in the alternative, to have the record left open for 7 days. Failure to raise constitutional or other issues relating to the proposed conditions of approval with sufficient specificity to allow the commission to respond to this issue will preclude any action for damages in circuit court. If you're going to testify, please try to address the applicable criteria. Will the staff please present the report?
Thank you, Chair Smith. We've got a few slides to share with you this evening. And we do have the applicant group here in person, and when their time is here, we can ask too if they have anyone online, because we do have quite a few folks online this evening. Okay. See. No, I'm sure it's me. Hold on, let me just turn it on. Usually if I get the laser going, I'll just start up while Tammy works on that, works her magic. So this evening we're here to discuss the children's course pole barn. The highlighted area, it's kind of dimly highlighted there in aqua, is the parcel that the proposal is on. It's not the entire children's course site. There's a front parcel on River Road as well. But this is the location of the proposal. Next slide, please. Oh, there it is. So the proposal is for the addition of a 1,152 square foot pole barn type storage structure. It is adjacent to existing structures of the same type, sort of in the rear, thank you, rear of the property. Let's see. So the project site, there it is again, the proposed 24 by 48 foot pole barn structure. The site is zoned MR, multi-household residential zone. As you can see, it's surrounded on the east side by multi-household structures. The property that this is sitting on is about 18.9 acres in size. So the overall golf course size is a bit larger than that. We did send public notice out to owners of land and residents within 250 feet of the property, as well as the applicable agencies. Again, this is the last group of design review applications where we are going to use the 250-foot boundary. It'll be 100 moving forward after today. And I didn't put the normal note that there are no overlay zones because there are quite a few overlay zones on here that we need to talk about this evening. So this application is for design review, which is required because it's constructing a new structure. It's for a floodplain permit because it's located in the floodplain, and for a habitat conservation area permit because it's also in the HCA. So in addition, it is a non-conforming use in the multi-residential zoning district. So we did have to find that it was in compliance with the standards for expanding a non-conforming use, which we were able to find, and those are in the staff report. For design review, because this building is not visible from any roads or doesn't have any requirements of the commercial zoning districts. It does not propose any windows or any kind of light and air. It's storage only on the interior of the site. As far as the floodplain development and habitat conservation area, the area in aqua on this map is the 100-year flood elevation. The striped area is the floodway, so it's the river and Olive Dahl Park, basically. And then the floodplain goes up to the very edge of the property in this location. So the applicant is required to address the new floodplain standards. So in order to do that, they were required to demonstrate no net loss of the 3 floodplain functions, and they were required to do that through a mitigation assessment. This is the first application we've had at the city where a mitigation assessment was required. It was an added cost to the application and an added time to put onto this project. So for as small of a project as it was, that was certainly not something that was, easy for the applicant to do, but they have gone through and submitted the proper documentation that the compliance with the no net loss of floodplain storage, fish accessibility, and water quality are met with the proposal on the property. So we do have that documentation in the packet to ensure that we're meeting the requirements for the FEMA floodplain to be able to do that. As far as the habitat conservation area, the finding is that a construction management plan needs to be in place, and that is standard for all HGA requirements when a building permit's required. So that is something that the applicant has provided and will continue to do on the site, as well as meeting the design review criteria. So there weren't really extra conditions that staff was looking to apply. Beyond our standard conditions to comply with. There were no public improvements that were required with the addition of this pole building, storage building. So staff do recommend that the Planning Commission approve the design review, floodplain development permit, and habitat conservation area development permit that are being applied for this evening. We do have a sample motion there for the Planning Commission. I'm happy to answer any questions about the staff report.
Commissioners, any questions?
Can you remind us the floodplain requirement change? I'm trying to rectify no net loss, and there's now a building where water won't be and potentially fish won't be.
Yes, great. And this diagram helps kind of explain the no net loss of floodplain storage capacity, because what it's depicting here is that the area of land that'll be excavated for the building to be located, that amount of dirt will be removed and located in the portion of the golf course that's not in the floodplain. So then that same capacity of the overall floodplain will be maintained.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
But the new standard, that has always been part of our code. We've always required no net loss of capacity, as well as making sure that the stormwater, the water quality is maintained. The new piece is the fish passage. So it's related to the 3 species of endangered 2 salmon, 1 steelhead. And that is where the requirement to put fish passage through the bottom of the building comes into place. And that's how the applicant proposes to meet that criteria, which is quite, it's a nice way to be able to address that concern while knowing that this building is just for storage. So water running through it is a potential.
Thank you.
Any other questions, commissioners? Is the applicant or his representative present? Do you wish to add anything to the staff report? And when you come, make sure you hit the button on the microphone, and please give your name and address for the record.
My name is Steve Marshall. I'm CEO of the Children's Course, and my address is 19825 River Road here in Gladstone for our business. First of all, thank you so much for allowing us to be here and to speak on behalf of the project. Just quick contextual information, the business or the organization is a 501c3, and we've been around for 29 years. And our mission is to positively impact the lives of kids and teens through the game of golf. So we're just honored to be able to offer that service, and we impact about 1,500 kids a year on the children's course property. I've got two professionals that have been working with me for months to present to you today. On the right is Steve Gibson of Steve Gibson Consulting, and on the left is Ed Swakon, who is with EAS Consulting, and he owns that firm. So we're here and excited to answer any questions that you might have.
Planning commissioners, any questions?
Just to confirm, people accessing the pole barn it's just by employees, no use or access from external people?
That's correct.
Cool. Thank you.
Anyone else?
You mentioned, I noticed in the application that it's because you have some new equipment that you're looking to store. When you came to considering the size of the pole barn, are you building it bigger for like future expansion and stuff so you wouldn't have to put another one on?
That's correct. One of the challenges that we've faced is that we actually have equipment sitting outside in the rain, and equally hard is during the summer period as well. So this is built to size so that the equipment that we have and any modest additions to the equipment will be fully housed inside. And as a nonprofit, the costs of repair and so forth will be dramatically improved by having stuff inside.
Commissioner Weiss, do you have any questions?
No, the floodplain regulation, the additions that we talked about today, I know add some burden on you. So just want to thank you for going through the process with us and working with our staff team. Thank you.
Well, if there's no further
one more question.
Go ahead, please.
How difficult was it to kind of navigate through that whole floodplain permit process?
It's been long and detailed, but we respect the fact that there are, conditions in order to be able to do something like this. And, it's costly too, especially for a nonprofit to be able to do it. But both of our consultants have been very generous with us and have done pro bono work for us in order for us to even be able to afford to submit the application. So I'm grateful to both of them for the fact that they know that we're here for children, and therefore they've done a very generous thing to help us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Any further questions? Okay, now is the time for public test. Thank you very much. You can be seated. Now is the time for public testimony. Please approach the podium and state your name and address. We will first hear testimony from proponents. Do we have anyone online?
If there's someone online that would like to testify, please raise your hand. I do not show any.
Okay. Anyone, let me see, do we have any testimony for opponents?
Again, if you're online and would like to testify, please raise your hand. And I do not see any.
Okay. So now is the time for applicant rebuttal, but do you have any further comments? Okay.
Can we just give a second? If anyone's online and wants to give neutral testimony, you can also raise your hand now. Okay, thank you.
Again, see no hands.
Okay, no, that's fine. If there's no further testimony, I would entertain a motion to either close the public hearing or continue it to a date certain. What's the pleasure of the commission?
I would move to close the public hearing.
Second.
Okay, the motion was made by Commissioner Weiss and seconded by, was it you? By Commissioner Carlson. Could we have a roll call vote for?
Commissioner Weiss.
Yes.
Commissioner Volbada.
Yes.
Commissioner Brennan.
Yes.
Commissioner Grau,
Yes.
Commissioner Carlson,
Yes.
Commissioner Langston,
Yes.
Chair Smith.
Yes, public hearing is closed at 6:55 PM. Commissioners, any deliberations? Are we ready to have a motion?
It's pretty straightforward.
Okay, well, would you like to make the motion?
How soon could the applicant start construction once the permit is approved?
They are able to apply for their building permit immediately.
Okay.
Just get to the screen. Oh, I did it again. Okay.
I would move to approve DR 2506, FP 2501, and HCA 2501, and apply the standard conditions identified in the staff report.
Second.
Well, the motion was made by Commissioner Weiss and seconded by Commissioner Langston.
I think.
Oh, was it you? Okay. I'm sorry, your name, your last name? Oh, it was Brennan, okay. And then seconded by Commissioner Brennan. Couldn't see. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Carlson,
Yes.
Commissioner Langston,
Yes.
Commissioner Weiss,
Yes.
Commissioner Volbada,
Yes.
Commissioner Brennan,
Yes.
Commissioner Grau,
Yes.
Chair Smith.
Yes. Motion has passed. Thank you very much.
Can I ask this one question? Is this the final step or is there another step before the?
Now you can go to Clackamas County with your building permit.
Okay, so there's no Clackamas County board that is.
No.
This, you're ready to start building, guys.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Okay, item number 4, public hearing file DR 25-07, renovation of existing childcare center, including updates to the building, parking, landscaping, and outdoor play areas. It's located at 17395 Webster Road, Clackamas County Children's Commission. Staff. Oh, I need to open again. Oh, boy. Okay. The public hearing is now open for the purpose of considering the, application DR 25-07. And it is now about 6:57. And, we are going, the procedure we'd like to follow tonight is the planning department report, applicant testimony, proponent testimony, opponent testimony, applicant rebuttal, decision to continue or close the hearing, planning commission decision, discussion and decision. Now, does any commission member wish to disqualify himself or herself for any personal or financial interest in this matter before us tonight? Or does any commission member wish to report any significant ex parte or pre-hearing contacts? Please indicate if you visited the site in connection with this application. I'll start with Commissioner Brennan.
Madam Chair, I have visited the site, have no ex parte contact, no conflicts of interest, and I do plan on participating tonight.
Thank you. Commissioner Grau?
No ex parte contact. I have been to the site and I do plan on participating.
Okay. Commissioner Carlson?
No ex parte contact, no conflict of interest. I've been to the site and I plan on participating.
Wonderful. Commissioner Volbada?
This one's a little bit complicated for me. I do not have any ex parte contact with the applicant. However, I have been chatting with our counsel based on potential personal conflicts of interest. And because of that, I am going to disqualify myself.
Okay. Commissioner Weiss?
No ex parte contact. I have been on the site in its previous form at the YMCA, and I have not visited specifically in conjunction with this request.
Go ahead.
And I have no conflict of interest or ex parte contact. I have not been to the site and I plan on participating.
No ex parte, no conflict of interest. I am planning on participating and I have been to the site. Okay. Does any member of the audience wish to challenge the right of any commission member to hear this matter? Is there any member of the audience who wishes to question the jurisdiction of this body to act on behalf of the city council on this matter?
I do not see any hands raised.
Okay. Oregon land use laws require that all issues be raised if the issues are to be appealed. Failure to raise the issues at this hearing may invalidate their further appeal to the Land Use Board of Appeals, LUBA. Any party has the right to request a continuance to this hearing, or in the alternative, to have the record left open for 7 days. Failure to raise constitutional or other issues relating to proposed conditions of approval with sufficient specificity to allow the commission to respond to the issue will preclude an action for damages in circuit court. If you are going to testify, please try to address the applicable criteria. Will the staff please present the report?
Yes, thank you, Chair Smith. I have a few slides for this one as well. We'll, put it down. Okay. Oh, was I messing? Sorry. Gosh, I have so much power. I didn't realize I could move the cursor.
This has somehow always been a challenge, hasn't it?
It's 99% me. I know it. Okay. So here we are looking at the Meadowlark Early Learning Center application. This one's just for design review, no other overlays to review for this agenda item. This is another, great service related to the children of the community, and two really interesting projects to have back to back this evening, I think. Let's see. Okay. Should I try it? Try the down arrow? Down arrow. Is it not? Nope. I had all the power. Now I have no power. Oh, wait, I saw it just a second.
Yeah, I see you still.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, right. Okay. Well, next slide, please. Let's just.
I'll work it. Okay.
Okay.
Then you gotta set that down.
Set this down. Okay.
Don't touch the remote.
Don't touch it. Oh, that's okay. So this is just the proposed project overlaying the existing site here. So the application is to renovate the existing childcare center, including updates to the building, parking, circulation, landscaping, and outdoor play spaces. Next slide, please. Located at Webster Road and Los Verdes. The zoning is C1. This is the only parcel zoned C1 in the entire city. So here we are. We are looking at the development of that entire zone tonight. Childcare uses are permitted outright. The property is just under an acre, about 0.87 acres. There are no overlays here. The image there on the screen is the new entry portion that will be located on the building. And again, all of the proper public and agency notices were sent prior to the hearing. Next slide, please. So for this one, we are looking at the C1 zone, as we said, as well as the design review criteria, Division 4 development standards that always go along with design review. A little more applicability here because it is on 2 street frontages. So a lot of those design standards and public works improvement standards did come into play on this one. And these are the submitted elevations. Next slide, please. This is the building footprint, just so that you can get an idea of what the interior improvements are, even though we don't get to really review that, but it's interesting to see how it'll be laid out so that it'll be accommodating multiple classroom spaces, some staff space, and plenty of space for the kitchen and other facilities to be able to run a successful childcare center. Next. So we do have 9 special conditions of approval, and there's a lot of words here. So Tammy, if you'll indulge and just kind of click through that, I did just label them so that it was a little easier to understand. So go ahead and click. And so the first 2 are related to the vehicular access, making sure it's safe to enter and exit the property, making sure the driveway is built to the proper standards to meet city access standards. Go ahead. Pedestrian access, making sure the sidewalk surrounding the building, surrounding the site is in good repair. And if any portions are not, then making sure that those are brought up to code. Next, the addition of street trees along both Webster Road and Los Verdes to meet the city's code. We do have our new street tree ordinance that helps us support us there. Existing trees can count toward that. Next, stormwater management, and we do have the applicant's engineer on this evening as well. So you can hear more about this because we did get some additional information today about the stormwater management report. We still think that this standard makes sense to just require that it meet the Gladstone stormwater standards. The applicant may be able to find that it's exempt from those standards, and then that would be meeting this condition, but we are still kind of ongoing with our Public Works Department to determine that. Next slide, please. Go ahead and click. So the number 6 is related to the sanitary sewer. This is a pretty standard condition we've seen on a lot of our applications because of our aging infrastructure to just make sure that the system will work for the new use since we have older lines. So scoping it, and then if additions or changes needed to be made, then having those done before occupancy. Next. And the last 3 are related to the water system. So demonstrating that the 1.5-inch water meter is the right size, making sure that the backflow preventions are in place, and making sure that the irrigation meter is the appropriate to meet state code. Those are the 9 conditions. So 9 seems like a big number, but they're pretty standard conditions really that could have probably been somewhat made into the standard conditions. So the applicant has had a chance to review these as well, and we can hear from them this evening. Next slide, please. With that, we do recommend that the design review be approved and that the standard conditions and 9 special conditions of approval based on the staff report be applied. Questions from the Planning Commission?
Commissioners, any questions?
For the sanitary line, the scoping, do you guys review the footage or?
Yes, so Public Works Department would review that.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the water lines, are you just reviewing calculations?
Yes. Yep.
Fixture and stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Is Webster Road a county right away?
No, it's city.
Okay. Will their improvements trigger any kind of half street improvement too?
No, just the sidewalk improvements and the street trees. Otherwise, there is a bike lane along Webster Road, and the pavement is in adequate condition.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any further questions? Okay. Is the applicant or his representative present?
Yes, I'll just really quickly introduce myself. I'm Darcy Kilsnock. I'm the Executive Director at Clackamas County Children's Commission. And we are the applicant for this review. I just wanted to share a little bit about our agency. We're a 501c3, so our name has county in it. So some people often think we're part of the county. We are not. We are a private entity operating, this will be our 13th child care early learning center in Clackamas County. We serve about 700 children and their families through the programs of Head Start, Early Head Start, and Healthy Families Home Visiting. And we're excited to expand our footprint in the city of Gladstone. We currently operate 2 classrooms at Gladstone Center for Children and Families, and we have not been able to serve the city of Gladstone with infant and toddler care through Early Head Start. So we're excited to expand those efforts in Gladstone. And I will stop there and turn it over to my colleagues who have all of the important information.
Darcy, before you do that, you
Yes.
introduce yourself, but we need to have your address as well for the record.
The agency address?
Yes, please.
Yes, it's 16518 Southeast River Road in Milwaukee, Oregon.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Is anyone else from your team going to speak?
Toby, Tim, are you next?
Tim, why don't you go ahead?
Okay, well, thank you for considering our application. We're excited to move forward with this project. I think the couple of questions I heard there, as far as we have had the sewer scoped, and it is in good shape, and we'll share those reports with you. And we're working through the site issues that have been mentioned, and I think we can meet all the conditions that have been raised, and we can address those easily. And again, we're excited to move forward and keep this building that's been vacant in your community, get it occupied and full of little kids. I don't know, Toby, do you want to add anything to that?
Mr. Richard, before we move on.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you need to state your name clearly and your address. Thank you.
Okay, sorry about that. I had it written down right here. My name is John Timothy Richard. I'm with J. Timothy Richard Architects. I'm at 4543 Northeast 23rd Avenue in Portland, Oregon, 97211.
Thank you.
Any further questions from the group?
Do we have any questions, Commissioner?
Nope.
Okay. Nope. Continue.
Toby, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Toby Lusich, also with Clacko Kids. Our office address is the same that Darcy stated, 16518 Southeast River Road in Milwaukee. This property became vacant during COVID, and so it has been vacant for a number of years. We acquired it summer of 24, and it's had a little bit of abuse, and so we've got it boarded up, trying to reduce that attractive nuisance in the community. And I'll just reiterate, we're delighted to get started and have really appreciated all the help from the staff in moving through this process.
Thank you. Planning commissioners, do you have any questions of the applicant? None at this time? Okay. Now is the time for public testimony. Please approach the podium and state your name and address. We will first hear testimony from proponents. Do we have any proponents?
Do we have any online? We do have one. I will bring him on.
Thank you.
Johnson. He's coming on now.
Unmute. Hello, am I here?
Yes. Can you hear us?
Oh, yes. I just turned my video on. I don't know if it's working. I'm part of the design team working with Clackamas County Children's Commission and Tim. And I just wanted to, I don't know if this is the right forum to bring it up, but one of the requirements regarding street trees, as a landscape architect, I am a tree lover and would love to put as many trees as possible out there. But there are serious utility conflicts along Webster Road that forbid street trees unless like the franchise utilities just move everything underneath where we can put trees. So I would be really curious if we can work with the city to figure out how to create a mitigation plan and put trees where there are no utilities on the site, because obviously the Children's Commission is really interested too in bringing nature into these sites, but doing it in a place that like is not going to have a conflict with utilities. So I just wanted to put that out there because that was not stated at all previously, and it is a very obvious situation.
Staff, can you address that, please?
Yes, I think what I would ask in return is if the problem with utilities is also on the private property, because I think when I reviewed it, the planter strip between the sidewalk and the parking area is in the public right of way where street trees would normally be located, but also onto the private property. So I was the way I conditioned it was so that the trees could be in any of that space. So is the entire space in conflict with your findings?
I would say yes. Tree roots grow in a very, we have a very limited width between where the back of sidewalk is and the curb. So whether we put the street trees on the private side or the public side, the roots are going to make their way. The roots don't see property lines and they're going to make their way through to wherever the utilities are, whether we put them on top or to the side. So I really would rather find better locations for them unless you all can have the franchise utilities move their utilities and for us to put trees where there aren't any.
Would a root barrier along the curb not help with mitigate that?
No, I'm really opposed to root barriers. If we want to have successful trees, we want to have room for their roots to grow. And I would really advocate for pl finding places where trees can have their roots to grow and their canopies reflect how their roots grow. Otherwise, we're going to have pretty horrible trees in like tree coffins is how they term it.
Um, I'm pulling up an aerial because I'm trying to remind myself how many trees are existing along each of the frontages. Those do count into the requirement. I know there are a few. The other thought is perhaps they could be added in as like landscaping islands in the parking area that are still adjacent to the planter strip along Webster Road and Los Verdes, but as you see in parking lots and things, a 5 or 6 foot wide planter strip in between parking spaces, perhaps that could be a remedy here to be able to plant trees to the standard needed. So, and just as a reminder, the standard in the code is depending on the size of trees, a small tree you space every 15 feet, medium every 25 feet, large every 35 feet. And there's some definitions for what those each are. So if they were larger trees, spaced every 35 feet, and there's already 1 or 2 trees, perhaps it's only 1 or 2 trees that's being added, and that could be adjusted on the site. That's up to the planning commission, of course, but I'd be interested if the applicant thinks that could work.
Curious, like our Darcy and Toby, is our parking count sacrificial? I'm probably gonna know the answer.
I would just ask the commission to consider that this site will serve 5 classrooms. It's about 58 children arriving and leaving each day. We do stagger the classrooms so they come, but that parking lot is not huge. I'm not sure where we would put planting on the parking lot, so I'm curious about that. But parking is essential in these types of scenarios.
So looking at the screen right now, it looks like Los Verdes, there's 3 trees, either proposed or existing. I think one of those is existing on the driveway area, but maybe it's being replaced. So it looks like Los Verdes definitely has the requirements being met. But along Webster, there are 3 trees, grouped together. If those are being maintained, while they don't meet the spacing of the code, they are existing trees and do count toward your street tree requirement, as well as perhaps one that's between this site and the multi-family housing to the north on this view, but I know it's actually to the east. So is that in consideration? Because it may be only that, 1 or 2 other trees are needed and maybe they can be somewhere else on this site. I don't know.
Kind of looks to me like there's already a few bump outs in the parking lot too that might be able to contain a tree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for example, right next to the 2-way driveway on Webster Road, there's a triangle there that could potentially have planting because it looks set far enough back to not impair vision clearance.
Yeah, I think that's an option. We're proposing 3 new trees there along Los Verdes, and we're not going to be removing those 3 trees along Webster. I think we can probably look at that little parking lot bump out in the driveway access in Webster. I think there was like a storm pipe there that we can move, or an inlet in there that we can move to try to accommodate a tree.
Aside from this proposal, are there any public utility upgrades scheduled on the horizon on Los Verdes Boulevard?
I don't believe so. I'm looking at Tammy. I know it's been a while since I've seen the capital improvement plan for the city, but I don't think Los Verdes has anything proposed.
Being a city right away, could the city technically make franchise utilities relocate?
They, I don't think the city can make them relocate. They could request it, but there would be a fee associated with that. And I don't think the city would want to do that.
Go ahead, Commissioner Langston.
I was just curious. I see, the storm drains cutting across there. What other utilities, are you encountering in this location?
There's underground telecom.
Yeah.
There's also underground electricity.
PG's underground there?
If that's the franchise, I was just looking at the survey and reading what it says, but if that's the local electrical provider, then yes.
Might add that in the upper right-hand corner, arguably the northeast corner as it's presented, is an easement that was granted to Quest back in the late 80s, early 90s, now owned by CenturyLink.
Yep.
And they provide high-speed fiber, to several square miles of residents in the area. And it's those routes that go around our property there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Have you talked with them? They would, if you guys are opening those areas up, they're pretty accommodating and bringing the fiber for you guys to drop in while you're in there.
Yeah, they were eager to add us as a customer. The bigger question we had was around just what's viable on the property, and the off the cuff estimate was hundreds of thousands of dollars if we wanted to even begin entertaining conversations. So I smiled and said thank you.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So, but as Ben noted, there's a substantial amount of infrastructure underneath that area.
Do we have any other online people that are proponents?
Is there any additional online that would like to speak as a proponent? Have not, no.
Okay, then will we hear testimony from any opponents?
Do we have any online that would like to speak as a opponent? I do not show any.
Okay. Regarding what Mr. Johnson was talking about, do we have a resolution for him, or is that something to be considered under any special conditions moving forward?
I think that we may want to consider looking at the condition. Let me just pull that back up and give you the reference to the page in our staff report. It is written to comply with the Municipal Code Chapter 11, which is the new street tree section. So let me just find how it's written so we can review it. Page 4-5, believe. Yes, 4-5, item 4. and it's here on your screen as well. Street trees shall be installed along Webster Road and Los Verdes site frontages identified should say as identified in Gladstone Municipal Code Section 11.10.040. So if I reference that section, 11.10.040 says all plantings, let's see. This is where it says the spacing of trees shall be 15 feet for small, 25 feet for medium, and 35 feet for large. Distance from curbs, street corners, fire hydrants, street lights, and utilities. It's saying that no public tree may be placed where tree parts will encroach within 10 feet of any overhead utility wire, underground water line, transmission line, or utility other than a species as a small tree under GMC 10. So it is saying that you can plant small trees with underground utilities. So the commission could require small trees with root barriers along this stretch as far away from the utilities as possible or elsewhere on the site along this frontage. But you can also decide to waive the requirement for street trees, but it is a new section of our code that is applicable here.
Go ahead.
I can imagine this probably isn't going to be the first time we hear this type of situation, right? With this new requirement is utility. We find, especially when we're looking at commercial properties and stuff, we find that the utilities might conflict with the routes.
Yes, although it'll be more prevalent on a site like this where it's mostly built out, the way it'll be built out. So if we have a site that is adjacent to public street but is mostly vacant, then there probably is space to be able to design your planter strip to accommodate.
Yeah.
Does any of this help you, Mr. Johnson?
I don't think I heard any direction.
Yeah.
So
I guess I'm curious what do you think can be accommodated like at right now? What would you propose?
that's a great question. If trees in the right of way, I feel aren't going to reach their potential, could we put trees outside of the right of way that can reach their potential and count them towards the requirement for the frontage? Because we can put small trees out there, but in the end of the day, is it really going to contribute to the urban canopy? Or would contributing to the urban canopy finding better places on site to put trees that are going to really make a difference?
I think the other thing to keep in mind in putting the trees on private property is it then loses the protection over time of having it be a public street tree. So this section has standards about how they're maintained over time and when they can be removed, when they can't be removed. But that has been overcome on other sites that I'm aware of with things like just, acknowledgement that those are to be treated as street trees, even though they're on private property. You could do a street tree easement over them if you felt the need to do that, or you can just acknowledge it through the land use approval.
Sure. I mean, at the end of the day, if we have to, we'll put little tiny trees in the right of way, and then also put vibrant big trees on the site that are going to benefit the urban canopy. So, it's up to it. I think it will make it work. It's just the street trees in the right of way are not going to be, I would say, doing a great job of being a street tree.
And I guess I kind of like I'm, just knowing that there's already trees there. Could there be the opportunity where it's not instead of trees, but providing some type of detailed plan on alternative landscaping of like other local plants that wouldn't compete with, would help kind of with the street, but then also wouldn't compete with the utilities.
Yeah.
That's a good option.
Yeah. I, I guess for myself, it is difficult to make any kind of, or have any ideas without kind of seeing how these utilities are impacting the site. I see the storm drain, that's theirs. So it'd be their hurdle to get over, but without knowing exactly what was there and how it's impacting the site, I would have to just go off of whatever. Like, I'd like to just know what their plan would be to kind of overcome these issues.
We could leave the condition in place and then the applicant would be required to provide the appropriate number of street trees. So you've got 3 small trees, probably fall into the small, maybe medium category, as well as 1 at the end. So there's already 4 trees. You know, if the spacing is 25 to 35 feet, depending on which ones I qualify for, we may be talking about the difference of like 1 more tree required here.
Yeah.
In fact, you know, it might be that Los Verdes is overplanted for the length of parking lot with 3. So we might even have our additional one on Los Verdes that could count, and we could call it the whole length. So I think knowing that the applicant would plant the trees on site if it doesn't make sense to plant them in the right of way here, I think we could keep the condition and then work with the applicant to make sure it works for the site.
Yeah, I would agree with you.
I like that idea. Is that workable for you, Mr. Johnson?
Yes, that sounds like a great plan.
Perfect.
Okay. Okay. So we have no other testimony from anyone?
I've not received any and I do not see any hands raised.
Okay. Now is the time for applicant rebuttal. Does the applicant have any further questions? Or comments, excuse me. I'm assuming no, okay. If there's no further testimony, I would entertain a motion to either close the public hearing or continue it to a date certain. What is the pleasure of the commission?
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion to close the public hearing.
Okay.
I'll second.
The motion was made by Commissioner Brennan to close the public hearing, and it was seconded by Commissioner Carlson. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Langston,
Yes.
Commissioner Weiss,
Yes.
Commissioner Volbada.
Abstained.
Thank you. Commissioner Brennan,
Yes.
Commissioner Grau,
Yes.
Commissioner Carlson,
Yes.
Chair Smith.
Yes, public hearing is closed at 7:34. Okay. Any discussion? Commissioners?
Can we go back to, sorry, not specifically on the tree problem, just the coverage, the impermeable portion. Can you point me to what the regulation there is?
For the stormwater
Yeah.
item, yes. So the stormwater, I'm looking at the staff report. I believe it's on 4-20. Begins on 4-19. So Public Works reviewed the applicant's submittal and found that the Water Environment Services standards at Clackamas County were applied. The model was run, and Gladstone has different standards. So we require a pre-development 2-year, and West only requires 1 year. However, the applicant's engineer who's on the call this evening did provide additional information that they might have miscalculated how much of the site is actually like new impervious surface. And so they might actually fall into the category of not needing to do additional stormwater storage and maintenance of that. So I think our city engineer reviewed that and said, that's probably, reasonable, but we need you to provide us back the information. So still requiring that they meet the city of Gladstone's stormwater standards allows them to provide that information to Public Works and the city engineer and then get that sorted out. But it sounds like they fall under the 5,000 square feet of disturbance because the site's pretty much already built out.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Commissioner Brennan?
Oh,
Okay. Anyone else? No discussions? Does someone want to make a motion?
Sorry, before we make a motion, can we just go through, are we leaving with the proposed special condition number 4 as written, or did we want to modify that to leave some flexibility for staff?
Does it need to be modified, or if we leave it as stated, you'll be
the way
able?
it's written,
Yeah.
is satisfactory.
Yes, the way it's written allows us to apply those standards from Title 11, which, like I said, the condition already says that existing trees count, and then we can look at the total site. There's no specific requirement that you do street by street, so we can look at what's on Los Verdes and Webster as a group with the condition as written.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve application DR-25-07 and apply the special and standard conditions identified in the staff report.
Second.
The motion was made by Commissioner Brennan and seconded by Commissioner Grau. Am I pronouncing that correctly? Grau, sorry. I'll get it eventually.
Okay.
Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Weiss,
Yes.
Commissioner Langston,
Yes.
Commissioner Carlson,
Yes.
Commissioner Grau,
Yes.
Commissioner Brennan,
Yes.
Chair Smith.
Yes. Motion passes. Okay. Do we have any business from the public?
No, we do not.
I do have one item for you because I don't think is this the right time? There's not a staff comments, right? It's I just
there is today.
Okay, perfect. The city administrator Betts asked me to let you all know about a proposal that the city is entering into with University of Oregon. It's called a Sustainable City Year Program Agreement. So the city's bringing on a group of students from University of Oregon under the leadership of John LaGarza, who is an economic development specialist. And so the city is going to be able to use the students who are working right now and learning about economic development, marketing, all of that sort of thing, to help with some efforts, architectural facade design guidelines along Portland Avenue, some public outreach strategies. And then, as you'll recall, on our Planning Commission work program is to look at how the development code and planning standards interact with economic development and things. So it is a nice opportunity that at some point the Planning Commission will be able to interact with that group as well and maybe move some of those goals forward for the city. So we're excited about that.
And all these individuals are interns, is that correct?
They're all students, yeah. So they are working, they'd be working through their winter term of 2026 to the summer term of 2027. So during their school career.
So they're volunteering their time, or is the city of, okay.
It's not paid, correct?
Okay.
Yeah.
What group was coming?
They are called Sustainable City Year Program. They're out of University of Oregon.
Yeah. Okay.
John LaGarza. I went and got my master's with him. Great guy.
Oh, great. Yeah, he's been excellent communicating. It's part of, here it is. University of Oregon Sustainable Cities Institute. That's what they're part of.
And Mr. LaGarza is helping us work on our downtown revitalization and economic development, et cetera. So
yes.
He's currently working with the city.
Exciting news that I was asked to share with you all.
Yep. Thank you. That's
Thank
great.
you. Okay, so there's no business from the public. Why don't we start with Commissioner Brennan and do business from the Planning Commission?
No relevant business for me, other than I'd like to just say thank you for, making the planning commission what it is. Appreciate it.
Thank you for your contribution. No, go ahead, Commissioner Grau.
Nothing from me.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Carlson,
Nothing.
Commissioner Volbada,
Nothing from me. Thank you, guys.
Commissioner Weiss.
Just requesting an update on, we had talked about the signs. I know we missed a window to reshape the work plan. So I don't know if the plan is to bring that up at the next work.
Yes.
Agenda setting.
So the next opportunity to discuss that with council is February,
Okay.
and it's on the list to do that.
Perfect. Thank you.
Commissioner Langston.
No business from me today. Thank you.
Well, I don't really have anything other to say that it's always an honor to serve with you guys. So thank you for all of your work and your contributions. It's greatly appreciated. And on that note, I would entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Motion was made by Commissioner Langston and seconded by Commissioner Carlson. Roll call vote, please, Tammy.
Commissioner Brennan,
Yes.
Commissioner Grau,
Yes.
Commissioner Carlson,
Yes.
Commissioner Langston,
Yes.
Commissioner Weiss,
Yes.
Commissioner Volbada,
Yes.
Chair Smith.
Yes, meeting is adjourned at 7:42.